I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. Another thing that I want to talk about today is that with my spiritual gift, I've been able to help myself first. And me being able to help myself first let me know that I can help anybody else when they're going through something. If what you do can help you first and bring you back to your best self, then you know you have the qualification to help other people. But the first thing you have to be able to do is help yourself. Because you can't say you can help other people and you can't even pull yourself out of the dirt first. And that's one of the things I had to learn. To be able to give advice, you have to be able to go through the things you say you talk about. And you have to be able to help yourself back on your feet. And you using your own experiences that you talk about is giving you the power to be able to help other people. And you know it worked because it's something you went through on your own personal level. And that's what my journey is about. Me talking about everything I've been through, everything I've experienced, and how I was able to will myself back to my feet and will myself back to the ability that I've always knew I had. And everything I went through on my personal journey, going back from the beginning all the way to now. And this has just been a personal story of my personal life, and that's what I love about it. That's how I know I can help other people because of everything I put myself through on a personal level, and me sharing that personal journey with you, and me being where I am today, and being the most powerful version of me that I've ever been, and the happiest I've ever been. It's because of what I put myself through in life and what I put myself through in every situation I've gone through in my life and how I was able to master it and how I was able to come back. It showed me that I'm able to help other people, and I know because of what I personally went through as a human being. I'm gladly able to say that I can help change anybody's life. It's just going to make you uncomfortable. It's really going to make you hate me, or it's going to make you hate yourself until you own everything that you did wrong, until you own every shortcoming or everything you had to run from. You have to run through the pain. You have to accept it, you have to feel it, you have to acknowledge it, and you have to let it flow through you. Don't let the pain destroy you. Focus on the reason for the pain and then solve that reason. Start with one thing at a time that you know you don't do well. Work at it little bit by little bit, day by day, week by week, night by night, until you figure out the reasons why everything that stopped you or everything that held you back. And then once you work your way through that, you will slowly find peace. You will slowly find the answers to why your life is the way it is. And you can fix and adjust your life as needed to get to where you need to be. Or that's the way I understand my life and my life process. It was breaking down it moment by moment. Okay, I don't do this well. Why don't I do this well? What do I need to change so when I come back I can do this a little bit better? Why is my heart broken here? What was my heart broken over? Okay, what is the trigger that caused me to have that problem? Okay, now what can I do to fix that trigger so when that situation comes up, I'm not triggered again? It's breaking down things and going inside your life and figuring out your reason for being and your reason for feeling the way you feel. And is your reason that you feel justified, or is it something in your own mind? And breaking that down and forgiving yourself and letting go of those delusions that you have in your mind and resetting yourself on the right path and just getting your mind and getting your body right and getting on the same page with actual life so you can live in actual reality versus what you tell yourself to motivate yourself. And that's something I had to come out of the mindset of too, living in my own delusion of what I told myself. It got me through high school, but when it comes to real life, you have to come to real life and you have to see life for what it actually is. And that was one of the most awakening moments and realizing moments that I had to realize about life. But once I woke up to how life really was and I really started really working at it, I realized how talented I am and I realized how gifted I could be. And I just went into it. And it wasn't always easy. It's been a lot of painful days. I had to realize a lot about myself that I didn't want to admit. But admitting those things allowed me to become a better person. It allowed me to grow. It allowed me to mature. It allowed me to become the adult that I was born to become. And I'm not always proud of everything I did, but I accepted it as part of my journey. It's where I was at the time. So I did the best I knew how in that moment to get over what I had to get over. And now that I'm at the next moment, I can go back and realize that like I did what I had to do, so I don't feel bad about it. It was just something that happened at that one point in time, and you can't beat yourself up over that one point in time. Whatever you had to do to get over the moment in that time period is what you had to do, and you just have to come to accept that and not hold that over your own head or beat yourself up. And that's one of the things I had to come to accept about life too. And life is what it is. You just have to grow and adjust with life accordingly and learning how to work with yourself. Learning how to work with your development, learning how to work with your growth, learning how to understand who you are from the core and build your way back up. And if you don't spend time getting to know yourself, you will never really have a life because you won't know who you are if your life revolves around other people. You have to learn who you are at your core from the beginning and then build yourself up from there. That is one of the greatest things I have to tell you on this spiritual journey. Spend time getting to know you from the very beginning, knowing your core characteristics of what you believe in, who you want to support, why you want to support them, why you want to stand with them, and then bring yourself back together. That's what we need to spend time focusing on the spiritual journey. You just getting to know yourself and getting to know your soul. If you can do that, you can make it through any journey in life, in my opinion. But that's why I believe I can help people to circle back to the original point because I broke myself down and I got to know me and I know my ways help me. So I know I can pass it on and use it to help other people because it worked for me personally. And that's what I want to tell people. If you know your ways can help you, you know your ways can help other people, but it has to work on you first for it to be able to be passable. If it doesn't work on you, how you expect your advice to be able to help other people? Everything that I tell y'all was everything I personally went through on my personal journey and everything I did to make it through to get me to where I am today. So I know this stuff works because I lived through it. And that's the only way you can advise anybody, in my personal opinion. You have to go through it yourself to be able to tell people how it works. You can't give advice on nothing you've never been through. But that's just the way I look at life, and that's the way I see my journey, and that's why I feel like I'm qualified to help. Cause everything I tell you guys are things I'm living through, I've currently gone through, or am going through in my life, or been through in a period of my life, and I'm telling you what I feel when I'm in that moment at that exact time, in my opinion. And I've worked my way through life to get to where I am, so I know all my advice works because I live through it on the daily, in my personal opinion. And that's the only way you can be when you're a spiritualist or when you're a person giving people advice. You can't give them advice when you hadn't lived through the experience. Then you become a fake. And that's the only way you can become a fake. You have to actually live through what you talk about for it to be real, in my opinion. But that's just